mission stations.
Amen.
Where we had mission station. Now, mission stations where you get one central place, and on that central place you develop a church, a school, a clinic, and people come in from the surrounding villages to get ministered to get help and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start outstations from that central spot, and you have preaching spots around in the local villages and so on. This area of New Guinea was totally where our mission was involved. Until and up in here in the western highlands, well, right in this area is a place called Baroka, and that's where Wendy was born.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we came back to the States, and then later we went back in 1980, and we felt like God was leading us to plant a city church. All of our other churches were out in the boondocks.
Mm-hmm.
But we came back to plant a city church, so we came to this place here, which is Lae, L-A-E, and it was a spot where there was a lot of fighting during the Second World War between the Germans and the Australians and the Americans. There is a large airstrip along and through here that was built by the Allied forces to take over, to fight against the Germans.
Well, it's Japs, wasn't it?
Oh, the Japanese, yeah. It was Japanese, but the Japanese and the Germans were allied.
Yeah, but the Japs were the ones there.
Yeah. And so...
Well, you said Germany had that area, though, didn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
That was their territory.
But we moved down there February 1980 and started the church.
Mm-hmm.
And as we started the church, we were looking for a place to have services. We had to rent a house, and we started we got the use of a Seventh-day Adventist building on Sunday. They weren't using it, so we used it on Sunday.
Amen.
And then we started having services. People started coming in, and then we started looking for property, and we found a piece of property that we didn't have the money to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have the money, and people were saying, well, sure, some of the local church leaders were saying, yeah, we'd like to start city churches, but where are we going to get the money? We may have to go start a business so we can raise the money so we can do it. I said, wait a minute. We've been investing in you all up here all these years.
Mm-hmm.
I want an offering from every one of these places where EBM has started to work. I'm going to come around and take an offering.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
And from this area up here, it's in the Western Highlands, but it's called the Tambo Valley. We had had a mission station there for many years, but that mission station, when we got there, the people were they were almost struggling to grow food because their gardens, their land had been depleted. They'd overfarmed it. They weren't replacing anything, and so my brother-in-law, Victor Chamberlain, that some of you have met. That's my sister that's from Cameroon, that's been in Cameroon as missionaries. They were there, and he said, I know what we can do. We can start buying the pig manure and the ashes from their fires and put that on the ground to fertilize the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing some of those things, he built that ground up until it became like the Garden of Eden almost. We had great big strawberries, we had cauliflower and cabbage and carrots and lettuce, and the people around the coast, oops, let's go back. The people, what's the next one? The people here on the coast and up here, you had hotels where Australians would come to. The hotels started buying our garden produce.
Amen.
So now we're bringing money into these people, and these people were selling their produce to us or selling their pig manure and stuff. And as a teenager, I used to go out with a tractor and a trailer on the back of it, and a scales, hanging scales, and I would weigh their bags and pay them, and sometimes it was like 3 cents, or sometimes it was 5 cents or 10 cents, or that we were using British money then, so it was shillings and sixpence and tuppence and threepence and so on. But we were putting money into them, and then we were bringing money back into the valley by selling them outside the area. And when I was 18, I was manager of that farm. And I also would drive down to these places, down to Lay and up here to Madang and different places, and expand the market and so forth. So we put a lot of time and money into that area. So I went back to that area and I said, I want an offering from you people, because I'm going to go start a church down here in Lay, and some of your kids have gone down there to go to school and whatever. So I got $10,000 from those people, the offerings they raised.
Amen. From people that were once very poor and didn't have anything.
Yeah, they'd had no income. They didn't know what money was when we first went there, because money was not something that was typical, that was native to the people there. And when we gave them money, we had to start little trade stores. So we would bring in things from, import things like blankets this was 7,000 feet above sea level. We had heavy frost sometimes up there, and they didn't have any clothes, nor did they have blankets. So we started helping them. They could buy some of these things, and then later we helped them start stores.
Amen.
So we were building into them, and so I went back and I said, I want an offering. They responded, and all the districts where